I appreciate so much that you guys are here, and that I want to make sure that with meditation, just like with yoga classes, that you guys know that everything that I say and offer is invitational and optional. So I just want to make sure that, you know, that we all feel comfortable, because when we're dealing with meditation and, you know, getting you to experience or think about specific things, or you know, not all of it is going to resonate with you, but with like physical stuff, it might be a little easier to be like, oh, that doesn't feel good, than when you're dealing with stuff that, you know, that's in your mind. And so, and there's less ability for me to see, right? Even though we're online, you know, if I see you moving around a lot, I know it's probably not feeling really great, and maybe, you know, I might offer a different suggestion. But in meditation, I don't have any of that, right? We're just all kind of here hanging out. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure that I say up front that meditation is just as invitational as the yin and anything else that I offer and teach. That if any of it doesn't feel right at any time, please feel free to just not do it, or let it go, or log off. I won't take it personally, you know, it's totally fine. So having said that, I do have a kind of maybe a little bit challenging exercise for us to do this morning, just as a way to kind of get in touch with our thoughts about ourselves. So I'd love if you want to play along, if you want to join me in a little bit of self-compassion meditation this morning, and a little bit of self-reflection. And so I'm going to ask at the beginning that you do something that's a little bit challenging and maybe that I wouldn't have you normally do, but only for like 5 seconds. And again, if at any time it doesn't feel good, please just do it or just let it go. And then we'll move into the part of finding compassion for ourselves. So just as a little exercise before we like get into the meat of the meditation, just in your seat, in your spot, if you feel like closing your eyes, feel free. If a soft gaze works better, soft gaze. Take a couple of breaths if that feels good. And then for just 5 seconds, and I'm going to count, I'm going to keep time. For 5 seconds, I'm going to invite you to bring to mind as many things as you can think of that you don't like about yourself. Just for 5 seconds. And again, it's not, it's fine if you don't do it. It's totally fine. But for 5 seconds, bring as many things to mind about yourself that you don't like. And I'm going to start timing right now. Okay, and then that's it. Just let that go. So if you feel like sharing, and you can just raise your hands or thumbs up or anything, I'm curious if you were able to bring something to mind that you didn't like about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you were able to bring more than one thing to mind. A couple of. Yeah. So the reason that I had you do that, and this is not a judgment, because I'm able in like 3 seconds to bring 5 things to mind. So not a judgment at all. If you were able to do that, then that self-judgment is something that you practice really, really regularly, because those pathways are really well established in your mind to be able to call them up so easily within 5 seconds. Just information, right? And please don't judge yourself that was the case, because it's usually true for most of us. So this meditation, I'd like to invite and offer that we spend the time focusing on establishing other pathways. the self-compassion and the loving kindness and the things that we love about ourselves as an alternative to making those pathways stronger. So, yeah, hopefully that was information, and we can just move into our meditation with compassion then. So find a seat that you are comfortable in, or you can lie down, whatever feels better for you. And if you'd like to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If not, you can keep them open. And then just start to tune into your physical body. I am actually going to leave my camera on this morning instead of just being a disembodied voice. If you at any time need a visual anchor, feel free to, look up. I'm right here. And yeah, otherwise just get yourself really comfortable and settled and start to tune into your body and your breath a little bit, and just get yourself as relaxed as you like. And then start to maybe focus in on your breath just a little bit more. You might notice where you feel your breath. You might notice some of the qualities about your breath, things that you could describe to yourself. You might notice the seat beneath you, or the floor beneath you, or whatever you're sitting on, just noticing the points of contact, the earth. And know that at any point in time, you can come back to these anchors. Physical contact, the earth, breath, your body. Even your surroundings. You need to open your eyes and look around anytime. So I'd like to invite you to call to mind someone who has been a really big influence in your life, a positive influence in your life. Someone who maybe as a child you was a teacher, or maybe as an adult was a teacher, friend, someone you really admire who has shaped your life in some way. You might take a minute to just bring that person to mind. And it's fine if this is a person that you know. It could also be a person that you don't know, that you just have admired from a distance. That's totally fine as well. A person that you admire that has shaped your life in some way. And then maybe start to bring to mind a few things. What are the characteristics of that person that made you want to be like them, or want to model after? What are some of the characteristics that person had that shaped you in some way? Characteristics. So it could be things like good teacher, enthusiastic. It could be things like compassion or understanding. Lots of different possibilities. Any of the characteristics that you really admire, bring those things to mind. Really just taking time to flesh that out. Think about what made you admire this person. Why were they such an influence on you? What characteristics do they have? Then maybe turning that curiosity inward for a moment and just seeing if you can find how many of those characteristics you share with that person. How many of those things do you have in common with that person? Maybe you pick a few, maybe you picked 2 or 3 really strong characteristics. Can you find those within yourself? And again, without judgment, so no judgment here, just curious. Can you find those? There are ones that you can find. Maybe you take a moment to say a little mantra to yourself. Whatever those characteristics were. I am compassionate, I am kind, caring, I'm a great teacher, understanding, any of those things. And again, if they didn't resonate for you, that's totally fine. Just staying with those positive thoughts. Another few breaths, if that's okay for you. Then maybe calling another person to mind. This time maybe someone you just really love. Just dearly love with all your heart. And this can be someone you know really well, really personally. It could be someone you admire from a distance. It doesn't even have to be a person. Maybe it's your favorite pet, animal, friend, companion, someone you love. Take a moment to bring that being to mind. And then just, again, with curiosity, what makes you love this person? What is it about them that makes you love them? What are their characteristics? What do they do? What about them makes you really just admire and adore them? And then with curiosity, turning that lens inward, and you find those characteristics within yourself. And maybe these are the same ones as before, maybe they're different ones. Maybe there are some that you can find, maybe there are some that you can't. No right or wrong, just curious. You find some of those characteristics within yourself that you love about this other person or being. Again, only thinking about the characteristics that you love and admire. Might play with that idea of saying those things to yourself. I am whatever those characteristics are. Maybe staying with that for a few more breaths, if that's okay for you. One more time, I'd like to offer you the opportunity to call to mind someone, this time maybe someone that you admire from a distance. Maybe it's someone that you have followed, the Dalai Lama, or a great leader that you find their works amazing. Anyone you've admired from a distance. one that you find to be just really amazing person, teacher, mentor, anyone that you just really admire. And if it's working for you, maybe selecting someone different, someone that you haven't brought to mind before. Always revisit the same person though, if that feels better. Someone you admire. Again, thinking about what is it that you admire about that person? What characteristics does that person have that make you just really admire who they are, what they do, how they do it? Bringing that person to mind, bringing their characteristics to mind, makes you really just resonate with them. Again, maybe turning that mirror inward, seeing if you can connect and find characteristics that are similar within yourself. And no right or wrong, these might be the same as before, they might be different ones, doesn't matter. Seeing what you can find for yourself. It's similar to that person that you admire. Even if it's just one thing, totally fine. Staying with that for a few more breaths. For the last couple of minutes together for a meditation, I'd like to offer the opportunity to pick 1, 2, 3, however many of those positive traits that you identified with or that you admired most in others, and see if you can create a little mantra for yourself, just saying I am, and whatever that thing or that characteristic is. Even if you're not sure how well it fits you, even if it wasn't something that you could find a lot of in yourself, see how it feels to just try it on and say it anyway. So it could be, I am loving, I am kind, I am compassionate, I'm strong. Any of the things that you admired, that you'd like to find within yourself. And maybe spending, if it feels okay to you, maybe spending the last couple of minutes just practicing that mantra for yourself. Know that also there's always the opportunity to come back to your breath, to the anchor of the earth beneath you at any time you need those and you need to let go of everything else. So you might let that go. You're still thinking about that. And bring your awareness back to your body, back to the earth beneath you, maybe to your breath. And then when you feel ready, if you want to take movements, find your seat again if you aren't sitting. Anything else that feels good, you're also always welcome to just stay right where you are. All right, guys. So thank you again for joining me, for the opportunity to maybe guide some positive thinking and self-compassion